So I saw my doctor. This is open. The door doesn't even close. So she's like, yeah. She's like, you poor thing. I know. That's why I'm great. I don't want to be. Well, for example, the nerve pain. I mean, literally, people like sit. And then so the medicine.
Okay, those of you online, hopefully you can hear me.
It's like, well, I don't know how you want to slow down. It's not in your vocabulary. I even know that. So I'm so happy.
Tim, can you hear me?
But yeah, likewise. We'll catch up with you. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Good to know. So basically, the rules are online. Just stay muted until you need to talk, and then we'll get you up there. I think we can hear. If somebody can just unmute for 1 second and just talk, that'll be helpful. I can do a sound check on our end.
Check. 1, 2, 3 chickens.
Yeah, we can't hear you. You know what? Does anybody have any announcements online? Because maybe we can't hear you. No? You're just going to observe? Okay. If you do, we'll figure it out from there. I think so. I think we're fine. All right. Well, here we go. All right. All right. Everybody out there can hear me. Everybody online can hear. Thumbs up. Yep, we got Gail a thumbs up. Look at that. We're rolling. We are hybrid. So just so you know, the camera is right here. So the online people get to really watch Ted eat the whole time. So hopefully it'll, there you go. Yeah. But we'll throw some beads at Ted. Anyway, all right, calm down. Speaking of Ted, would you like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Anastasia, you tried to hide back there, but we could find you. If you would like to lead us in the four-way pact.
First,
I will have the courage to tell the whole truth. I will be kind in the way I tell it. I will be fair and not seek selfish advantage. I will have an open heart and an open mind.
And then just so you know, I worked extra hard on my PowerPoint to move everything over so we can have everybody over there on the screen and everybody can see. The only person that cares is Wes. Everyone else didn't really listen. Thank you. And now if we can have Jack Lucas, please give us an invocation.
We will bow our heads. Dear God, we give thanks for this day and for the guests that are with us. We ask a blessing on the Rotarians here and around the world and the projects that they're involved with. Bless this food and this meeting to our use. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen. And just a quick reminder, we've got the folks outside from the Classic. They can you can bring your tickets out there. They're right outside the door. Rosemary and Barry. And if you've got Classic tickets you need to hand in. Rosemary's over there waving, but you can bring them right outside anytime. We'll just get settled here.
When I signed up, my wife,
I'm the only one who's read it.
We got
What is that? Yeah, I'm on a 90-day challenge. Yeah. So if I win, it's 600 memberships. I'm like, that's all my work in. So I'm gonna do that today. Well, I'm gonna go Wednesday. 3 hours. Yes, I know. I know. So sparkling soda water.
Okay, while we are enjoying our soup, just to give you a rundown, we're gonna be introducing our guests in just a second. We got lots of Rotary news and announcements. Hopefully lots of happy scappy dollars. Birthdays, we're gonna do birthdays today for December and January. We'll recognize those folks and give them an opportunity to give us an opportunity to sing happy birthday to them. We do have our Queen of Diamonds, and boy, is the number getting up there. I think we're over $8,500 in the kitty there. We had a 5% winner last week, so brought it down a little bit, but then we made it all back again with over 400 entries for that. Fun and frolic with your fun and friendly Find Master. And of course, we have District 54 and Eisenhower here to tell us what they've been doing. And then of course, we'll end it right on time. So let's welcome our guests here today. Back in the corner, we said she's not really a guest, but I'd like to welcome back Sosie from Top Golf. She's a good guest. I don't know if you heard, but there's some kind of labor shortage thing and Top Golf was affected. So I think she served as waitress, as ball collector, as everything along the way. So she's taking a breather and being able to finally get back to our club. So welcome back. Obviously, she's a member, so we're just kind of teasing her a little bit. You know what? We're going to have two guests with Michael Erickson. I'll let him say hi to the second person just coming. But Anastasia, would you like to introduce your guest and our prospective member? Yes, Paul, thank you very much. Paul did submit his application. It's under review. We're doing the background check. We're checking all of his resources, doing that Google search, just kidding. And now, Michael, if you'd like to introduce the two guests, which are our speakers today. There. And Melissa, right? Did I hear that correctly? Nice to see you. Very good. Don't worry, we got the PowerPoint. We're all ready for you already. Am I missing any other guests? This is kind of that weird configuration where it just looks like a crowd of people and it's not really spread out. Looks like everybody is accounted for. Very cool. Hey guys, classic moment of the week. I was gonna have this really cool video prepared, and that'll be next week. So you'll have a promotional video again next week for our classic. Natalie Martinez, again, she's the host. We've got our honorary chairman, Avis Proctor from Harper College, and there'll be announcements about the classic soon. The foundation moment of the week. Do large grants ever take place in North America was the big question this week, and yes, it is. Yes. Rotary Global Grants have large projects, scholarships, vocational teams all across the US and in Canada. And the most amazing aspects of the International Foundation is that there's lots of opportunities for large projects wherever there's a need. Of course, criteria needs to be met. And if you've got ideas on large global projects, you can contact us. Pat Gronwald is our resident expert at all of this stuff and can help guide you. We do have great activity of the week. There is, sorry, Top Golf, but there is a new X Golf in Schaumburg. It's a simulator. It's at the old Punch Drunk Social, whatever it was. I know it's not that, but it's no longer there, and this place is taken over. The district is putting together a golf outing. The cost is $100 per golfer in this scramble. If you're interested in playing Pebble Beach Simulator, you can see Roger Smith, and he's buying the first round of drinks. So that is February 18th, Friday afternoon. I believe it's right after this meeting on February 18th. And we do have some cool things. We got awards in the mail, and I have to give big thanks. I'm going to take full credit for these awards. However, they were done way before I became president. So we have the Aim High Governor's Challenge Award certificate. We also have the End Polio Now Award certificate. And then just hot in my mail yesterday, now on the floor, is recognition from the Illinois State Senate. And Laura Murphy, the senator, is congratulating us for 50-year anniversary of the Rotary Club. So, yeah, there is not a check. It was post-dated in October of 2019. No, I'm just kidding. It just got here, and so that's lots of great recognition. So we got two month birthdays because December kind of got messed up. I had to miss a meeting. We really only had one lunch meeting. So December birthdays, Howie Fath, George Panopoulos is here. Everybody wave, George, there he is. Gail is right there online over this short corner over there. Michael Erickson has a birthday December. Pat Gronwald is also in December. Jim McCullough is here, and hello, and then Brian Berg. He couldn't be on the Zoom. He is in Florida. He had to make us jealous on the Zoom for the board meeting with his summer attire and palm trees behind us. So let's all sing happy birthday in our grand style to just the December birthdays. Happy birthday.
It's a nightmare.
When I put this together, I think, why did this kind of sort of end? Wes didn't really want to do this. And then I recall, and then we actually sing happy birthday, and I remember why we didn't want to do this anymore. But let's go to January, which is where we're at right now. We've got Lauren and Vince and Dom Ray. Hey, look, Bill Kelly's got a birthday coming up, and Roger Smith. So maybe this time for the January birthdays, do you think we can do it just a little bit more nice? Sing happy birthday.
With all due respect, Mr. President, Roger Smith and I were going to next week request our two accomplished vocalist jazz musicians to sing us a happy birthday. So highly approved. Be on guard for next week. He sent us a through with this.
I'll warn Holly.
Yes, we'll warn Holly, and we only take requests with large checks that come with it. So better get together with Roger Smith on that one. So, hey, who's happy? Woohoo! Happy dollars. Who's got happiness today? We got Pat Cromwell heading up first, and she'll collect. She also volunteered for that.
I have $5 happy because my husband's cataract surgery went perfectly. And that's notable in our house because Ken is legally blind in his left eye and was having cataract surgery on his right eye. So I'm really happy.
Good. Yes. No, you got it. Gene, I know. You just get up here and you get all nervous and you forget everybody's name. And I know you, Gene. Sorry.
I have $2 happy because I was nominated for Hoffman Estates Business of the Year. Didn't win, but I was nominated.
Very cool.
$2 happy for the celebration of Meatloaf's life. I have $2 happy for my daughters. She got Beauty and the Beast debuting today at the Prairie Arts Center. And then $2 happy for Alan Gay bringing back the 70s turtleneck.
Good. Thank you so much. And yes, we've got lots of happy dollars, but I did want to piggyback on that. I am very happy, and I will do it online. I started restarted after a couple months off an exercise and food program, and I believe I did it just in time because we just lost today two very heavy set, very famous people, Meatloaf and Louis Anderson, both passed away. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news if you didn't know about Louis Anderson, but anytime one of those big fellas pass away, what I think is a little too early, I thank God that I'm in okay shape, but still working on it. So who else is happy? Like a bat out of hell, I'll be gone when the morning comes. Hey, how about it? Wes, go ahead.
I got 5 digital happy dollars. First, because my family all made it through COVID, including the boys, completely okay. They got it, didn't have any symptoms, so that's great. Thank you to the vaccine makers for that. But also, I hit up our
Rosemary.
I have $5 happy because last Sunday, Pete and I went on a wonderful fellowship arranged and planned by Bruce Duffy, who also performed in Too Hot to Handle. He planned transportation for us to get down to the city, the entire performance, which was totally worth it, very enthusiastic, and then dinner back here was great. So yes, thanks.
Bruce, Wendy.
Well, I have 100 happy dollars. These out. So we're happy about that.
Very good, very good. Bill.
I got a happy 5. I'm going on the 9-day vacation.
Oh, nice. So she didn't have to cut across anyone on this side of the room, anyone in the middle. Sosie.
So I have $1 happy for the warm and welcoming right back. It's good to be here. For those, as Tom said, it was a little crazy at Top Hall for a while. Short staff, I was just on board. We were on a weekly basis, the 3-4 of us were at like 65 hours. So, but it's a second home, so you do what you have to do. So that was a great thing. And then my second happy dollar is because Ozarks premieres tonight. And I don't know what's on the menu for dinner, but Jason Bateman.
And anyone else happy? I think we're all happy that Jason Bateman is in all of our lives. Yes.
a national treasure.
Anyone else? All right, thank you. Great happy dollars, great happy dollars. We got club announcements. What do we got? Anybody want to come up here? Is probably the best thing to do and announce your announcements.
Oh, I got you.
Right now?
Hi, hello, friendly club.
Hello.
I have a nice little surprise for
Ooh.
everyone. Can I please ask Mr. Alan Gabe to join me up here? Alan?
Uh-oh.
I promise it's worth it, Alan. So I have a letter here that I'm gonna read. Alan is the subject of it, as you might have guessed. Over the past 2 years, Alan Gabe has provided pro bono legal support to Four Corners Global Consulting Group, LLC, which is a social impact consulting practice that supports nonprofits, academic organizations, and philanthropies, including Rotary International, with their social justice and change work. Alan has been endlessly patient, giving us thorough ongoing decision-making, operational considerations, and contract negotiations, all with compassion and kindness. His generosity and significant pro bono contribution to our practice has allowed us to serve more clients, deepen our expertise, and grow into a thriving firm. We want to make this donation to the Rotary Club of Schaumburg-Hoffman Estates in Alan's name to honor his service to us and to his wider community. We could not be more grateful to you, Alan. Love, Emily, Kelly, and Dan. Congratulations. I have a check here for $150 to the Rotary, to our club's foundation on their behalf. Well done, Alan.
Yes.
Okay. I just have one announcement. So I'm trying to catch up on makeup. So if you have been to another club, make sure that you're filling out the sheet, like if you paid, so that I can give you a credit for our lunches. And then also, if anybody who's doing the minutes at the committee meetings that you guys are having, please send me the attendance so I can put it in for makeup. So.
You want to, the online people, we voted?
Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, sure. So the board today voted that, since we are back hybrid, we are going to count online attendance for regular attendance. So that was great news. Right? We got some happy dollars. Might have to go back to that.
You know, I'm going to be a little selective here. I got an email regarding, I don't know if you recall, but we did a major donation to adopt a family over Christmas. HEC had a major giveaway at the Holy Cross Church on Monday or Tuesday. And I got an email of some of the comments from parents and some of the impact that we've made. And I thought I'd share a couple with you. Raphael is known to HEC. He arrived at POC's Conversation Club and discussing the cold weather, shared how she and her elderly mother shared gloves and winter wear. She was very excited and shared the gifts that she had gotten, 5 new coats. We'll wrap them up. And this was actually, they're going to make a Christmas out of this event that we did this week because they did not have Christmas before. So that was a cool thing. Another one, mother reached out to her son who did not have snow pants, didn't think he needed them, but that was the weekend it snowed, so he used them to shovel his neighbor's driveway. A call came in from the local food pantry of a family from Venezuela needing winter wear. They didn't know that it was going to drop below 50 degrees in this area at any time, so they were given 5 adult coats and all left very happy. A young single mom came in concerned that she was about to have her second miscarriage in a month. What? I don't know about that. While connecting her to emergency service, we noticed her 8-year-old daughter was using her sleeves as gloves and was cold. It was 12 degrees outside that day. We offered her gloves and found a hat to match her coat. The grumpy 8-year-old left smiling. Single family of 7 living in 1 bedroom in Schaumburg due to job loss. Shoes were needed. Mother found some shoes donated by Rotarians. They fit perfectly. She also picked up a quilt made by her son, or roll from her son. That's part of the HEC thing. Husband was very embarrassed, but to have asked for help, but was able to receive a coat and gloves and hat for daughter and sons. A young man, 19 years of age, came in wearing a woman's size medium coat that was obviously too small for him. He received a new men's coat his size. He is the only one working to support his parents at this time. Mother came in asking for, that you're getting the drift. But we had multiple stories of impact that day. And I don't know, Pat, you were there longer than I was. Did you have an insight in terms of what you felt, how you felt the event went?
Well, I just thought it was probably the best organized event of its kind I have ever seen anywhere.
Yeah.
They had it nailed. They had people registered in advance. They knew what sizes they needed. And it went, they were scheduled at intervals. Everybody who had signed up showed up, and they showed up on time. And it went beautiful.
And they're going to have another giveaway in a week or so, and I can't remember, don't know the details of that because they haven't given away all the stuff. If you can recall, we had collected $3,000 in contributions from the club. The club matched it, so we had $6,000. I ended up buying almost $10,000 worth of Kohl's clothes that we got. Right now, we've spent $5,400 because of the discounts and stuff, and the Kohl's cash. We were able to share some with Shelter as well. So we've had amazingly successful events. And again, thank you very much. I wanted to single out Jim and Bonnie. They made a special comment of the clothes that they brought to the event. The outdoor wear, the guy took it from that event and went to work that afternoon, able to wear a coat that was more protective for outside use. So thank you guys, and we'll keep you updated.
So we have some new contributions to the various auctions for the Classic. And the always lovely and very distinguished George was fortunate enough, he sent me four very interesting contributions for the auction. One is 4 club box seats for a Sox game against Baltimore, and that includes the parking and so on. And it's a pretty special deal. And the other one is Las Vegas, 3 nights of hotels at the Wynn or the Encore, and also spa, and spas included in that hotel room. Okay, so that's like a $2,500 donation. So pretty cool, George. Thank you. There were a couple of other things that he donated that I'll talk about some other time. Thank you.
Okay, we do have our February fellowship. Wes is giving up his home and ready for it just to get destroyed. And he has a special announcement about that day.
Oh, yeah. So after multiple rounds of negotiations from my wife, I can now confirm that both babies will be present for this party. So it is not just a Super Bowl party, it's a Super Baby party. So if that's more your thing than football, there will be entertainment for you as well. Hope to see all you guys.
Please sign up. I'm gonna pass this around.
Very good. Public image, we do have our brochures. They were made available last week. They're still available today. If you didn't get them last week, we've got them around here somewhere. We don't forget to like our Facebook page. We are on Instagram, and Anastasia is going to help keep us on task with that one. And please, if there's any ideas that you have that for promoting or anything about Rotary, please get it to Pat so that we can have something on at least our Facebook page daily with different ideas. I've done that for a year, and you run out of ideas and you start rehashing old ideas, which nobody really notices that it's an old idea except you, because you know that you did it before. But we really don't want to keep it as fresh as possible. And now, ladies, is there anything online? Anybody online have any questions, comments, concerns? Good, because I don't think we could hear you anyway, the way it's set up. All right. Now it's time for the Queen of Diamonds, everybody. The excitement mounts and continues. Now, the audio is not great today, so I'm gonna be the ticker, but I think we should be able to see who wins. So here we go. Ready? Tick, 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 tick. Oh, Brian Burke. Okay, so we've got Nancy will pick the number for Brian in this case.
Ooh, Brian, don't kill me.
Brian actually emailed me saying it is okay for this to happen. Yes, it was very strange. I'm so used to getting emails from Brian Berg. I'm like, what are you talking? Oh, Burke. And now, oh, look how quick she's getting this done, making this all look bad.
Queen of. Diamonds.
Woo! Queen of Diamonds. I don't know all the rules, but I'm pretty sure that that means that that is the grand prize winner. Woo!
And since I did it, right, I get a portion, is that?
Oh, man. So too bad we can't hear Steve. He's got all the rules and stuff online, but I believe half of this pot ends up going to the winner, Brian Burke, and the consortium that has paid for those tickets. So that means that somebody has to buy a new board. So hopefully we can have that by next week. And if Steve Lamp can forward me that where he got them before, I can probably look it up. But if you remember to do that, Steve, who's online, we can place that order and get that done, and we can go back to being the Queen of Hearts raffle. Yes, George.
I have an idea. Why don't we have an extra board just, waiting?
Hey, that's a great idea, and
I thought we did.
I think we might actually have that, but send me that link anyway.
Buy them separate times, so it's got the same winner on each
Yeah.
board.
Yes, there you go. We buy, it's very strategic, George. We buy them at separate times so that we don't have the same winner on each board, because that would just, you wouldn't want to have somebody win the Queen of Hearts on the first try. That just wouldn't be very good, which is actually what happened last time. All right, everybody, we've got a few minutes to just eat, drink, and enjoy each other's company, and then I'll come back to you.
What?
Oh,
No, right?
and you guys online, I will
Yeah, that's actually true.
oh. Okay, you guys online?
Oh, you're welcome.
You guys can talk amongst yourselves, and I will come back when we come back. Okay, everybody online, we're gonna get started here again. Okay, after lots of great announcements today and funds and frolics and all these other things, we're gonna get back to it here. And actually, what am I saying? It was Happy Dollars that took a while, which is good. Give it a second. We've got teachers and principal coming up here, so I'll practice the staying silent while standing up here and seeing if anybody else stays silent. And it also makes for a great introduction of our fun and frolic guy. Here you go.
Hi, everybody. I'm the fun and frolic guy. If you didn't know that. So we're going to take some, every time you do fun and frolic, you try to learn something. Like you learn that the teacher and principal are in the back talking while I'm giving this presentation. So Mike, would you, you're eating right now? Glenn, will one of the Glens be a collector, please, and collect $2 each from our guests, even though I don't normally find guests, but you were talking during me doing the presentation. So that'll be the first test. And someone up near the front would, okay, Rachel, why don't you? Okay, she's done. So you learn when you do fun and frolic. And I know last week, even though I wasn't able to be here, Jeff Miller had a quiz. So I'm going to intersperse some questions here during fun and frolic. And we're going to do the typical fines. No talking, Mike, while I'm giving fines, but no pin, no badge, and if you were late, that'll be $2 each. If you have not turned in your a paid for classic ticket, that's going to be $3. You know, we're in this little cramped, horrible room, and there's not a lot of space here, and they have a rack out there for your coats. So everybody who did not hang up your coat or jacket in the coat rack out in the hall, that'll be $2. Jim McCullough, you know, Jim and I have been friends for more years than I want to count, but he disappointed me today. I came up to Jim and I asked him how much more do I need to get my 7th or 8th Paul Harris pin, and he said he didn't know. I can't believe that Jim didn't memorize each and every person's position with the Paul Harris, so that'll be $2. So here's my first quiz. I knew we were going to have lunch at Chandler's today, and I'm thinking, what famous Chandlers are out there? Why Chandler? Two names came to mind for me, maybe more for some of you: Raymond Chandler, the author, and Chandler Bing. So Chandler Bing, to some people, isn't a real person. So I'm going to have a quiz about Raymond Chandler. For some of you who don't know, he was an author, and he wrote a lot of famous books, some of which were turned into movies. So I'm going to list 5 book titles, and then you're going to tell me which one he did not write. And if you blurt out the answer, that's going to be $10. So these are the 5 book titles. The Last Farewell, Farewell, My Lovely, The Lady in the Lake, The Long Goodbye, and The Big Sleep. Everybody have their ideas? Think about it. Okay, how many people think that he did he write the book The Big Sleep? If you think he wrote the book The Big Sleep, raise your hand. Okay, everybody else, that's $2. Do you think he wrote the book The Long Goodbye? Okay, everybody to raise your hand, that's another $2. Don't we have people in this club that read? The Lady in the Lake, did Raymond Chandler write that book? Raise your hand. Okay, $2 for all those people who said he didn't write it. That was one of his books. Farewell, My Lovely, did he write that book? Okay, if you didn't write that, get that one, that's $2 more. This will cost you all $10. You realize that. And the last one is The Last Farewell. Did he write the book The Last Farewell? No, he didn't. I made that one up. So if you thought he did, that'll be $2. Now, for those of you who know how to read and happen to read one of the Raymond Chandler books, you know that he had a famous detective as his main character. I'm going to give you the names of 4 famous detectives, and you're going to have to decide which one is his detective. Was it Dick Tracy, Nick Charles, Philip Marlowe, or Sam Spade? Okay. How many people thought it was Philip Marlowe? That's the only person who got it right. Pat got it right. The only one got it right. Philip Marlowe was the, oh, no, I couldn't see your hand because Terry's head's too big. So everybody else paid $2. Yeah, I said it as kind as I could. Okay, so we're going to go back to the regular fun and frolic. If you didn't bring a bottle of wine or liquor today for the classic, that'll be $2. If you were talking during Tom's announcements, Glenn Jurgot and Linda Dresser, that'll be $2. If you not sing happy birthday, and I was looking around the room, this is the truth, is it the truth? If you didn't sing happy birthday or scream or yell or do something during happy birthday, that's $2. If you are not playing golf in the golf district golf outing, and there's only 4 people in our club who have signed up, and I know who the 4 are. So everybody else other than Wes and I pay $2. If you brought a flask to the meeting today, $5 for advertising. Wes, $5.
I already paid it.
Okay. Speaking of, so my next quiz is, every week we come in and they have 3 choices of entree. Today the choices were pork, chicken, and vegetarian. Of the 3, which card were still left on the table? If you thought it was vegetarian or chicken or pork, raise your hand. How many people thought it was pork that was left on the table? Everybody else paid $2. My last question is, there's a woman named Jennifer E. Jones. If you think you know who she is in relationship to us, raise your hand. Okay. Glenn Jurgot, who is she? That's right, she's an incoming international president. If you didn't know that, shame on you because you didn't read your monthly Rotarian, pay $2. So now here are my last 2 questions. Where is she from? If you know, raise your hand. Of course, Glenn and Mike would know. Bill Kelly. Well, that's a big place. Where in Canada?
Someplace east, like, I don't want to say Ontario.
You want to say Ontario? How many people agree with Bill? Okay, everybody else, that's $2. She's from Ontario. My last question of the day, and then you can zip up your wallets again. What direction, what'd you say, George?
Except for what, there's nothing in it.
Well, you have a checkbook, we have credit cards. And if you blurt this out, that's gonna be $10. What direction do you drive from Detroit, Michigan to Ontario, Canada? How many people think you drive north? How many? That's okay, that's $2. How many people think you, I'm not gonna give the answers to the end. How many people think you drive east? How many people think you drive west? How many people think you drive south? Everybody who said you drive from Detroit, Michigan to Windsor, Ontario, south, you were correct. Everybody else paid $2. Thank you very much. If you have any more money, have a good weekend.
Hey, my name is- No, I'm sorry. I gave a check to Brian. Or single.
You know why? Because if we get on
I gave a check to Brian. It's the opposite. It's your fault. And I got her name too. Anybody else? Good?
I got $5
Here.
for Rachel. No, right.
All right. Well, this is great. The thing that I got out of that is that when you become a past president, it's okay to bring a flask to the meeting. So I am excited. 6 months away from me having that. Thank you, Wes. Nice, very nice, very cool. And with that, let's bring up some educators. No, just hold on. So, ladies and gentlemen, today as our speakers, we have 2 folks from Eisenhower Junior High. We have, and I only know their first names, so it's very improper of me, but Heather is the principal there at Eisenhower, and Melissa is one of the teachers, and I think part of the Interact Club, right? And the sponsor of the Interact Club. Please come up, tell us what's going on at Eisenhower. Oh, yeah, we've got some Eisenhower
There you
grads.
go.
We got some
I've heard a
parents.
lot of you are Eisenhower or had kids going to Eisenhower. Okay, thank you. I'm Heather Wilson. I am the principal of Eisenhower 6 years. I have to, first of all, thank the Rotary. I've been a principal probably in the district for the last 11 years. And this particular group has really supported when I was at Keller, when we started the food pantry, from like holiday events to help support some of our families really in need to provide those holiday gifts. And now at Eisenhower, again, servicing a lot of our students in need or families in need. And I'm going to have Melissa really speak on behalf of some of the programs that the money has really helped support our students. Without you guys, our kids in need and just even our school would not be where it's at. We're really about building our community. It's just not about academics for our students, but how are we really supporting our community, our families, and our students' social, emotional, and who they are as little people. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I'm Melissa Hamzachek. I'm one of the social workers that works at Eisenhower, and I've been there 7 years, I think now. And so we just wanted to share about a couple of the programs that you guys help support and have helped support over the course of the time since Heather's been our principal who got us connected with you guys. So I am a co-sponsor of the Girls Group and Interact Clubs, which are 2 programs that you guys help support, as well as I co-facilitate our food pantry with one of the other social workers. And I'd just like to start out by again saying thank you so much for your generous support, and not just your generous support, but reaching out and encouraging us to apply, reaching out and encouraging us with our Interact Club and really getting that started and kind of under you guys, where initially when we had Interact, it was not necessarily connected with the Rotary. So just not just inviting us to lunches and giving us the money, but being a part of what we're doing and wanting to be a part of what we're doing. So thank you guys for doing that and for continuing to support things that, as Heather said, we would not otherwise be able to do in connecting with our families and supporting the needs of the whole child so that the kids can come to school and learn and know that they have a safe place and that they are being supported, not just academically, but social emotionally as well. So I'm just gonna share a couple of the highlights in regards to what you guys have helped us do. So with our food pantry, we offer opportunities to support families on a monthly basis. We serve over 50 families monthly, and we connect with not just supporting Eisenhower families, but some of our feeder elementary schools as well. Because of your support, we've been able to increase our home goods and toiletry options. So we specifically are asking families when they place their orders, because of the pandemic at this time, families are able to submit from like a menu of options. Because of you guys, we've been able to increase not just our options, but the amount that we're able to give families every month. And then they can select the items that they want. And we ask at the bottom, what are some other things that you guys might want? And a lot of times it is that toiletry kind of home goods thing. And so because of you guys, we've been able to increase those opportunities and options. And again, the amount that we're able to give them on a monthly basis. And then we're just continuing to look to increase what do families need. So as we're able to house more things in our pantry, we're able to ask families again, what do you need to be, for your family? And then this year and in years past as well, we've been able to provide not only those monthly meal boxes, but holiday meals so that they can make, you know, a Christmas meal or holiday meal for their families, including things that normally we wouldn't be able to have, like a ham or a chicken and things like that. So I'm just going to share a couple pictures from our food pantry. So over on the left here are kind of where we have the toiletries. This is right after a shipment. So as you guys can see, we have things in all different places. We also.
Let me get rid of those people so we can actually see.
Oh.
There you go. Okay, we don't want to see them.
Right. I wouldn't either. Sorry, go ahead.
That's okay, thank you. So in addition to the food, we need to put things in places, right? So we are held under a standard in regards to food safety. And so we have to be able to store things in appropriate and safe ways. And so some of the things that we need are basic bins or things with covers. And so as we put things away, those are some of the things that we need. On the right is us sorting boxes. So as we serve over 50 families a month, we're, you know, putting those boxes together because the families just pull up and then we bring out the meals, the boxes to them. And then just here are some other, so those bins are things that we need to be able to have so that they're in a, you know, the food, especially if they come in packaging or boxes, we have to put them in a bin to keep them safe. So another program that you guys help support is our girls group. So supporting positivity and creativity, challenging the young kiddos and their growth, as well as increasing their health and their friendship. So again, we really look at servicing these kiddos in their whole selves and helping them. As you know, if you remember junior high, it can be a pretty tough time. They're at a new school, they're only with us for those 2 years. And in those 2 years, there's a lot of growth that happens with those kiddos. And so supporting them and looking towards their future, right? They're not elementary kiddos anymore, but then there's kind of that in-between age with high schoolers where you're really like, you know, going full on for your career and your future. And so we're looking to help kind of start that with these kiddos at this age. So we've had increased numbers of attendees as we've been back in person full time. We have seen not just with our programs, but a huge increase of the amount of kids that want to be involved outside of the school day. And so that's been awesome to see this year. Identifying areas of interest for these kiddos and potential for their future, offering opportunities to try even new foods and fruits and veggies. So again, looking at that whole individual when we're talking about health, we know that kiddos can't learn if they're not healthy and what I call like mind, body, and spirit. And so we're really looking just to increase that for our kiddos. Giving back, so some things that we've done this year is notes to local senior citizens. Our dean was collecting blankets for animal shelters. As you guys have probably heard on a side note, they're overflowing. And so we help to make blankets to give to those shelters. Every time that we meet, we also incorporate some sort of physical activity. So staying active and working out together. A lot of the students that we get in our club are not necessarily involved in sports. Some do take a little time off from girls group to maybe be in cheerleading or be in volleyball. But a lot of our kiddos are not otherwise involved in sports. So increasing that physical activity and teaching them that they can, right? It doesn't have to be a sport in what we consider like basketball, football, you know, things for running, but that they can be active in other ways. And then in the past, prior to the pandemic, we would take multiple field trips and they were always geared around what the kids would potentially do in the future. So when we had kids that were interested in the culinary arts, we took visits to restaurants and they took us back into the kitchens and showed us how everything works. We had kids interested in the medical field, so we visited a local chiropractor. So we're hoping to start that up again as we're able to take field trips. And so this year we are hoping and planning to go to Harper College, which we've been connected with each year. So with your generosity, we're able to take field trips with these kids, which has been super impactful for them to meet people. And it's always within our community that we're able to make those connections. And then here are just some pictures of the kiddos doing. So we also on our permission slip get parent permission to use knives and, you know, things like that, so that we know that they're able to microwave stoves and ovens and things like that. So we were cutting up some veggies, and then I don't know if you can, or fruit in the middle, we made little like fruit snowmen with little chocolate chips as sides. And then this is the blankets that we helped make. So we did the little fleece ones where you tie them off, and so they were able to collaborate and give those blankets back.
And then we also have the Interact Club. So taking action, leading, and spreading kindness. Our kids this year, I feel like more than ever, are just incredibly creative, which has been really awesome. And so they're creating ways to express gratitude to not just like our teachers, but beyond, and creating that positivity within the school. One of the things that we put on when when we talk about what Interact Club is that like kind of sprinkling kindness wherever you go type of thing. Supporting community building and giving back locally, exploring needs nationally and globally. So we're looking at and kind of diving in, and we know at the high school, in connection with, I think Maggie, if that's correct. We know that their Interact is really student led. So we're really trying to push them to not just take what we're trying to tell them in regards to, here's a need that I heard of, but what are needs that you hear of, what are needs that you think, and then looking, obviously within our own school community. Our Interact is often really tightly tied with our food pantry and community closet, and then, going out from there. And then within our community around Eisenhower, Schomburg, Hoffman, nationally, and then globally as well. And so in that way, collaborating and building relationships. In the past, we've had relationships with places like Friendship Village and things like that. So continuing to build those. And then recognizing for them, when we ask them on the little form at the beginning of the year why they want to be involved in Interact Club, we ask them, why do you want to be involved in Interact Club? And almost every student said, I have a desire to give back in some way, shape, or form, which has been amazing to see. And so seeing that passion is amazing at 12, 13, 14 years old. And so here are some examples. We had a community event at night, and the PTA asked us to make posters for, inviting parents, because it was an event that parents were, and this is totally their own creation of what they created. And so a couple of our kiddos actually put together that eagle of saying, we want you. So yeah, it's just cool to see them be able to take talents that they have and utilize it for the benefit of other people. The kiddo in the middle, we did holiday cards for a local nursing home. And then we try to do monthly gratitudes to our teachers, and we ask the kids to write personalized notes to our staff. And then this, I don't know if this is gonna play. It was a video.
Oh, you know what? I had to change it to PowerPoint.
Oh, okay.
I can probably
Yeah, I don't
bring
know
it
why
up.
it looks so stretched out.
Yeah, probably.
And if not, it's a very short, simple video, so if it doesn't play, that's okay.
You got anything else to talk about while I'm getting this up?
I was just gonna ask if you guys have questions, if there's something. I feel like these are things I do year to year.
Do your kids, any of them go to Conant?
Not really, not many
Okay,
people.
is there, we just set up Interact at Conant this year, so if there's anybody, they can,
They
please
all-
come forward. with that.
Eisenhower is unique, and the majority of our kids go to Hoffman.
Yeah, like I think last year, maybe one kid.
Yeah. Yes.
So I was reading last week that two of the groups of the people that have got hit the hardest for mental health reasons during the pandemic are middle school and high school kids. And that makes sense because the socialization, which we're just coming into in those years, that's so important. And I'm just wondering what kind of strategies you found at Eisenhower that and whether there's anything our club can do.
Yeah, you're right. I was actually talking to Mike about that in regards to the pandemic and our kids going virtually. And, as educators, we often think academics first, right? That's the area that's going to be hit the most. We really found that our kids did pretty well academically. Yes, there were some declines, but not like where we thought they were, easily to catch them up. It really was that social and emotional component between families, between students. The fortunate thing with the pandemic, I feel like as a building administrator, I have the opportunity to do so many home visits, which you normally don't do without the pandemic, right? So those home visits really opened our eyes to the dynamics that are happening within the families and the needs that the families need. So that social emotional component is really supporting the kids. We're very fortunate at Eisenhower. We really have worked since I've been there 6 years, really looking at being proactive and really building the relationships with our students first and foremost. And then from those relationships, putting in the appropriate support. So now also seeking to understand where our kids are coming from. So we're not reacting to a behavior necessarily. It's more like what happened, right? Like kids just aren't generally bad, right? But it stems from something. So a lot of just like more emotional supports, a lot of time of supporting their needs in that way so that they can go to the classrooms and be successful. It stems from more than just the relationship with the kids, but really the relationships we have formed with our families, right? And trying to provide them with the necessary resources of losing jobs, moving, so many family things going on, and how do we support the families? Any other questions? Yes.
I'm curious, it's great to hear about the supports for the kids and the families. How about the teachers? What kinds of programming do you put in place to support?
Yeah. You're exactly right. So we do talk about, I mean, it was funny, my dean and I had to do a home visit this morning, and something that opened our eyes to something we would never see. And I kind of turned to her afterwards and I said, I thought our job would be mental health provider. So we have really had to fill so many hats, right? So it does put that extra stress level on our teachers. So as administrators, it's really our job of looking at our school leadership team or even the administration team, and how do we really support our teachers who are those high stress times. So being strategic of like giving time back, right? So that they can prepare for what they have to do in the classroom. It's all about relationships. So making those connections, like when their kids have COVID or they have COVID, you know, not reacting, but like, how can I service you? What do you need from me? And really just kind of checking in with them, you know, always checking in with them to see like, how are you doing? How do I support you in providing those appropriate supports? I think this year is just very unique in the fact of too, like the kids have been at home for quite some time. They're finally back, which the kids are ecstatic about being back, even though they have to wear masks, they're very happy about it. But we also have the extra layer of politically what's going on in the world, right? And then our kids coming to us and having to handle, you know, and preparing the teachers for conversations that would be taking place in the classroom. Yes.
So you had a lot of students out with COVID or teachers out or staff or what about bus drivers? Has that been a problem?
I think in this time, you're going to have a flux of teachers in and out. I was very fortunate, to be quite honest, like, you know, in January when we came back, you heard of a lot of districts having a lot of teachers out. That was not necessarily the case for our particular school. And I don't even think our district, but I think that whoever built our calendar was very strategic in the thinking ahead of time of not having us come back till January 10th, which really was beneficial for our teachers. They had time if they did get COVID or their families got COVID, that time to get them back in a healthy position, as well as our students. I think we're in the state of ebb and flows of that, right? Do we have kids coming out with COVID? Yes. Is it like substantial amount of kids? I wouldn't say so. And a lot of them are very minor or not major symptoms, right? Yes.
Not so much a question, just a comment. I grew up, and not only went to Eisenhower, but right, literally in Shadow and Eisenhower always had a big impact on my life. And I want to express my respect and appreciation for people who not just our teachers, but our middle school teachers, because that is such a different thing. And it was a formative time in my life. I just want to express my appreciation.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's unique. People are like, you are crazy, but like that to me, I was an elementary school teacher. I always say my job is not a career. It's not a job. It's your passion, right? Like you love these kids so much. And I'm very, very fortunate to be servicing that community. These kids are everything that we have. It's our heart, who we are. And I love getting up every single morning and servicing our community and our kids.
And I think it comes down to the staff too. I think Eisenhower
Oh my
staff
gosh.
is,
Unbelievable.
for me, a unique. I was a teacher also prior to being a social worker. And so I was at many schools, and there's something about that community, not just the kids, but also the staff and the families, and the passion that Heather has for connecting with the families as well. I think has just been, I love Eisenhower. So yeah, it's a unique place.
Is there any dirt you can give us on one of your board members?
She doesn't bring a flask to a meeting. Or to a board meeting. I'm sure last year she wanted to.
So do you want any dish on one of your?
Great parents.
She's an awesome addition, yeah, absolutely. So this video is literally super quick, but these are two of the kiddos who are in our Interact Club, and I don't know why it's like totally stretched them in that image, but they just simply said, thank you for your generous support. We appreciate you so much is essentially what it said. And that's ultimately what we want to say is just thank you so much. Without you guys, we would not be able to do a lot of the things that we're doing. So thank you so much for having us as your guests and for supporting us and encouraging us along the way. So thank you.
I'm getting another one.
Oh, she's gonna get another one. But thank you so much for coming out one more time. All right. All right, we still got the people online. Cool. Hey, next meeting. Maybe it's because I look around the room, but it's another person that's going to bring some relaxation, helping you feel your best. Sabrina Schottenhamel is going to talk about. She's a massage therapist and speaks on the topic of relaxation, taking time for yourself, and simple strategies for staying hydrated. I don't think it has anything to do with a flask, but it will still. Yes, it is. It's a theme. What time is it? Well, maybe we'll just finish out early here and spend a little time. So let's all rise. And let's see. We have got Jean. I didn't remember your name for whatever reason it was earlier, but let's pick on you now. Can you lead us in the four-way test?
First,
is it true? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill, better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
And then I found another quote. Now, this is going on what 26 of these, trying to find 26 quotes. But why does Rotary care? We work hard to give back. We want to create a better future, make a difference. We know we can't do it alone, so we get support and strength from other Rotarians, both in our community and across the world. Thank you so much. Go out and serve.
Hey, Tom. Tom.
Hey, one more thing, real quick. Sorry. I was just able to look in the chat. And Steve Lamp has donated the next boards for the Queen of Hearts. And we will have plenty of them because of his very generous donation. I suppose I should have him up there, right? There he is. I think he's not coming just so that he can puff a lot of smoke. So as soon as that's allowed, I'm sure we'll get Steve Lamp back on a regular basis. Thanks, Steve.
Did our friend Renata give you a call?